Have you ever wanted to go into the mind of a volunteer? Wanted to join someone on their volunteering schedule and work towards the community? On today's edition of Person to Person, we'll speak with someone who puts all of his time towards charity work and more.
Us. Our guest today is a man who donates all his time to charity work and volunteering. He is here to talk about charity work organization. Now let's meet our guest, Joe Hawley.
Hello.
Hello. How have you been doing community service and volunteering?
Over 50.
What are some of the nonprofit organizations are you a part of?
Well, going back to the beginning, I was actually part of a church group and then Cub Scouts, and we were doing a raising. I can say I have 50 years of experience. The organizations that I'm involved in are numerous, and they span over a long period of time. Currently, the top of the list is Big Brothers Big Sisters, American Cancer Society, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Wiseman, which is a board of 400 of us, of retired men that do community service work throughout Fairfield County, particularly in Bridgeport and Norwalk. And then also I'm a coach to young business professionals. So it keeps me busy.
Yeah, I see. What do you get when volunteering and be part of an organization?
The organizations matter a lot. What really matters to me is the one-on-one contact with individual people. So, you know, some organizations you can get lost and you're caught in paperwork and all sorts of other stuff, and quite frankly, those I stay away from. Because the gratification I get is that we've all got gifts we can share to make a difference and involve with somebody or organization that will allow me to use my skills and my gifts. For instance, I grew up in marketing and sales. I can do that. You know, same thing with mentoring. Very gratifying.
Nice, nice. What some events do you do your organizations?
Each organization has a strategic plan, all right, that says who they are, what they're all about, and what their core mission is. So I'm involved in some organizations at that level, at the board level, but where I have the most fun and the most involvement. And so that has to do with, if I had one today, I would ticket to our Westport Sunrise Rotary wine tasting and beer gala that's happening in a couple of weeks. One is a big duck race where bottom line is we're doing good, important thing, and that's my mind doing it. So we're having fun and really helping people and programs not only locally but around the world.
So what else do you do besides community service?
Well, I used to work for a living a long time ago. I retired at 55. I'm now 63. I've always been involved in nonprofits my entire life. But right now, what I found myself doing since I retired is, quite frankly, I'm busier than ever. I have an administrative assistant or a team or whatever have you, and on 7 nonprofit boards. I work with 11 nonprofit organizations. What else do I do? Nothing. It sounds funny, but this is my life.
Yeah.
And from my passion and enthusiasm, I love this. Yeah. It's a privilege to be able to retire early, but it's also a privilege to be able to be associated with all these organizations and have a lot of fun doing some good.
Oh, I like the way that sounds. How has giving back and volunteering influenced the community around you?
You'd have to ask those that we influence, but come with me. I actually work at the Gillespie Center, which is a homeless shelter in downtown Westport. meals, right, to 30 men and women. We have to cook the meal at home, then we bring it in and we serve it. And gratification you get from looking in their eyes and having them come back for seconds, because my wife is a great cook. Aha! There's the secret.
She's a keeper.
Right, but to be able to do that and to say, wow, I really am making a difference. To be involved in the Big Brother, Big Sister, and to be assigned a little at the age of 12, and now to be 20. I've known this guy for 8 years. And so what I get out of it, quite frankly, is more than I've given, because he's a big Mets fan and into rock and roll. And whenever we're driving around, of course, he's but I'm old-fashioned. I've got the radio on, 5.9, and he's, oh, this is that. Oh, this person was married to that. So the bottom line is, I get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
So it really brings you close to, you don't consider it community service. You just consider this is a good life. And I've been very fortunate, and I want to share that.
So when you were with Big Brother, Big Sister, how was your experience mentoring other young teens besides Perry?
Very similar. My first little brother, make you nervous to hear this, but I was how old are you?
24.
24, okay. Years old, I was a sophomore in college, and I was taking a psychology course, and they said, okay, well, you're going to all be big brothers. We're separate organizations, Big Brother, Big Sister. So my first little is Tim, and he was 12 years old. 43 years ago. He's now 55. This is like startling.
Yeah.
I'm 63. So I guess we're still 8 years apart, but we're in touch. He comes up, we cook out. I mean,
That's nice.
You know, so it's, his kids are obviously a lot older than the age where, you know, when I met him. But
yeah.
So the Brother, Big Sister looks for is a year or two commitment. That's, and quite frankly, I hope by the way I've answered some of the questions and the lifestyle, that's not enough. And if you were to ask Perry Hoy, I said, you know, you've got an opportunity, you've got an option. It's doable in 15-minute increments or once a year. I can either get out of your life if you've had enough of me, or if you want a little more, we can continue to hang out.
Yeah.
And I hope, not that I'm going to live another 40 years, but I hope I have the same long track record with Perry as I did with my first little Tim.
Gotcha. Can you tell us how you got started with community service?
That really goes back to my parents. Before community service was talked about or even had that label, through our church, other churches, inner city, and rehabbing houses and doing things. This is back, seriously, in the early to mid 60s, so it's like a history lesson. It's a long time ago. And then through Boy Scouts, so just really enjoying being out there, encountering people, doing things, making people feel good.
Yeah. And
really, as I say, it almost sounds selfishly, but having a lot of fun doing it. You know, when you're impacting somebody's life and you can see them saying, whoa, this is great, or boy, this is a lot of fun, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, for sure. Today we got to speak to someone who has been volunteering for a long time and loves giving back to the community. As well as being a dad and working in marketing, he still makes time for charity work. I'd like to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It was great.
Of course. We hope you enjoyed meeting our volunteer in community service and continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a good day.